If I knew a serious storm was coming, a major power cut was possible, or the electric had started flickering, there are 10 things I would want charged before anything went wrong. Because when the power goes out, electricity suddenly becomes a finite resource. Your phone, lighting, communication, and access to information suddenly matter far more. And ordinary devices can become incredibly vulnerable when the sockets stop providing power. So in this video, I'm going to show you the 10 things I would keep charged before an emergency, why I prioritize them, and what I would protect if the blackout lasted longer than expected. Welcome back to Charlie Survival. If you enjoy calm, practical UK preparedness without the fear-mongering, subscribe and leave a comment telling me the device you would most hate to see on 1% during a power cut. Because number one is obvious, but most people use it completely wrong once the electricity disappears. My phone. The moment a serious outage starts, I stop treating my phone like entertainment and start treating it like emergency equipment. That means low power mode goes on, screen brightness comes down, unnecessary Bluetooth goes off. I stop endlessly refreshing social media and I avoid wasting battery on videos, games, or anything that does not genuinely help me, because my phone can be my map, torch, banking access, weather source, emergency contact device, news source, and connection to family. But only while the battery lasts. I also think it's worth sending important messages early. Something simple: power is out here, I am safe, I'll update you later. Mobile networks can become congested during widespread disruption, so I'd rather send that message early than wait until everyone else is trying it once. Number two is the thing that keeps number one alive: power banks. I always want to keep at least one good power bank charged, and preferably more than one. Not because I want to run every device in the house, because redundancy matters. One power bank can fail, one cable can break, one battery can be forgotten in another bag. And if the outage lasts for days, a decent power bank can mean the difference between communication and a dead phone. I like larger power banks because I use a lot of electronics when traveling and filming, but the principle is simple: keep them charged, test them, and know how many phone charges you actually get. Number three is lighting. Head torches, handheld torches, and rechargeable lanterns. I specifically prioritize head torches because they leave both hands free. That matters if you are cooking, treating an injury, checking the fuse box, or moving through a dark house. Number four is a portable power station. Now, I want to be clear, I do not think everybody needs to rush out and buy the biggest power station they can afford, but if you own one, keeping it charged makes an enormous difference. I personally use the All Powers power station with solar panel, and if you want the exact setup I'm using, click the link in the description and use the code Charlie10 for 10% off. This is not sponsored, this is the exact setup I currently use. A power station can run lights, charge phones, keep communication equipment going, and depending on its size, support some medical devices or refrigeration. But this is where people make a mistake. They treat stored electricity like an unlimited resource. It is not. If the power is out, I would immediately decide what actually deserves power. Communication first, lighting, medical needs, information, then everything else. I am not wasting valuable battery capacity running things simply because I can. And if I have solar panels, I want to know before the emergency how long they realistically take to recharge the system in actual UK weather. Number five is my emergency radio. A battery powered radio can become incredibly useful when normal communication starts failing. Most people assume their phones will always provide information, but what happens if the internet is down? What if mobile data is overloaded? What if your router has no power? What if your phone battery is running low? A radio gives you another way to receive information, and during a serious emergency, information becomes a resource. If you are looking for practical gear, my Charlie Survival Amazon kit list includes equipment I use, have tested, or genuinely think is useful. The link is in the description. I also have a free blackout checklist linked in the pinned comments. If this video reveals gaps in your setup, that is probably the easiest place to start. And for the people who want a complete UK specific blackout plan, I created a course, the UK Crisis Readiness System. You can find that in the pinned comment as well. But back to the list, because number six is something I personally carry when communication really matters: my Garmin InReach satellite communicator. This matters because I cycle, hike, wild camp, and travel through areas where normal mobile signal can disappear. A satellite communicator is not essential for everyone, but for anyone anyone travelling alone or relying on communication away from normal coverage, or people who just live in the countryside, it can be incredibly valuable. The mistake would be owning one and letting it sit flat. Before a trip, I want it charged, active, set up and familiar, because emergency equipment should not require a tutorial when the emergency has already started. Number 7 is rechargeable radios or walkie-talkies. Again, the important thing is not simply owning them, it is having a communication plan. Radios can be useful around a property, campsite, neighbourhood, or between family members if mobile networks fail, but 2 flat walkie-talkies in a cupboard are not a communication system. So if bad weather is forecasted or disruption looks possible, I'd make sure they are charged and accessible. I would also test them where I actually expect to use them. Number 8 is rechargeable double and AAA batteries. This might sound less exciting than a power station, but rechargeable batteries are a useful layer of redundancy. Torches, radios, headlamps, some medical devices, and plenty of small electronics still rely on standard batteries. So I like having rechargeable cells charged and ready, plus a sensible supply of ordinary disposable batteries as backup. That gives me options. This is where good preparedness often becomes less dramatic and more practical. You do not need one perfect solution, you need enough overlap that one failure does not leave you with nothing. Number 9 is my laptop or tablet. During a longer outage, a laptop can help with communication, downloaded documents, maps, imported information and work. The key word there is downloaded. Cloud storage is wonderful until you have no internet, so important documents, maps, instructions, contact details and useful reference material should not exist only online. I'd rather have critical information stored locally on a charged device. And if I knew a storm was coming, I would download anything useful before the network become unreliable. Preparedness is about using the quiet period before disruption to make life easier afterwards. And number 10 is a portable jump starter. A flat starter battery can leave you stranded even if the vehicle is perfectly fine. A small lithium jump pack gives you another option without needing a second vehicle immediately available. But just like every other item on this list, it only works if it is charged. So those are the 10 things I always try to keep charged before an emergency. But the bigger lesson is not really about any one device, it's about energy management. When the grid is working, electricity feels unlimited. You plug something in and forget about it. During a blackout, every stored battery becomes a small tank of energy and suddenly you have decisions to make. That is the mindset I want before an emergency, not panic, not trying to keep every gadget alive. Priorities. Communication first, medical needs first, reliable information, lighting, then comfort and convenience afterwards. Good preparedness means one failure is inconvenient, not catastrophic. So my advice is simple, do not wait until the storm warning appears to discover everything is flat. Pick one day a month, check the power banks, charge the torches, check the radio, look at the power stations, test the jump starter, replace damaged cables, update software while the internet is working. Make sure important devices actually turn on. It does not take long, but it closes one of the most common gaps in modern preparedness, owning useful equipment with a dead battery. If you want the easiest next step with your wider emergency preparedness, download my free blackout checklist in the pinned comment. Then if you do want to go deeper and build a complete UK specific plan, the UK Crisis Readiness System is the next step. I created it because most people do not need more random information, they need a system. And the Charlie Survival Amazon kit list is there when you are looking for specific equipment. You can find that in the description. Let me know in the comments which device you always keep charged and which one you think I missed. Subscribe for more calm UK preparedness. Next, I've let YouTube recommend a video for you that it thinks you'll really enjoy, so click this one on screen and I'll see you over there.